It's important for folks to be on the ground with bullhorns, negotiating at the highest levels. And while that's extremely effective, those voices from the streets need to meet the courtroom in the highest halls of justice for there to be systemic change.
My name is Lateefah Simon, and I'm the Executive Director of the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights.
The mission of the Lawyers Committee is to marshal the private bar to fight for change. For 40 years, they've been organizing top-tier litigators in some of the biggest firms in the country. In the same way, similarly, to have organized young people on the streets. We fought cases in front of the Supreme Court. We desegregated the fire department here in San Francisco. We pushed through litigation where there was a dissent decree filed before my birth, where the schools were desegregated in San Francisco. This organization, we ensured that poor people all over San Francisco had access, equal access to low-income housing. We've done significant work here that I've actually personally benefited from. Leadership is not the person who's at the front of the line in the protest. It's not the person who's speaking at the press conference. The leader is someone who decides to stand up in the face, not only criticism, but doubt, and they do something different. Do you need a number for legal help if you get arrested?
Peace and justice!
Levi Foundation was one of the few funders when I came to them years ago, and I said, you know what, I run an organization, I'm 20, I'm the youngest, we got about $800,000 budget, we are all ghetto girls, we all got babies, and we will change the face of San Francisco. The program officers believe me.
Daniel, it's Lateefah from the Lawyers Committee. How you doing? I'm calling to thank you for your participation in last week's event. What's going to be hard is getting us grounded and humble enough to really hear what people are saying, real folks in real community, what they're going to demand for this organization to do. So my work is aligning the staff now and aligning the board to take some real serious risk and to move from our laurels. I said to the staff the other day, I said, the sacred cows, let's cook them and eat them. Now the question is, how do we move past immediate and systemic, and how do we really become a cornerstone for existing movement? That's going to be interesting.
There is going to be civil unrest out here today. And again, because we need to really figure out other avenues to organize. This is one of the few ample opportunities where people feel like they can organize. What I will do with the attorneys is bring in a whole new way of thinking. I'm trying to bring in a flood of experienced litigators who call themselves community lawyers to train these attorneys, both the senior attorneys and the junior attorneys. If you are indeed embedded and committed to social justice work, how do you need to speak the exact same language as your clients and vice versa? You should be a trainer and your client should be a trainer. Because if you believe in any one moment that you're better than the client, or that this client can't be trained not only to speak for themselves, but to understand every step of the process, then you're in the wrong business. Who could imagine? I mean, I think about my grandma. She lived in Jim Crow South. She worked, she cleaned houses. If she was to be able to articulate, you know, my granddaughter will get paid to talk about freedom. That's crazy. That is so darn cool. I'm very lucky.